Hi everybody, welcome back to Two Tall Stitchers. I'm Jennifer and this is my crazy mother Carol.
Who just figured out that she had to push the button to start us.
She was trying to get me to start talking. I was like, you gotta push the button to start the recording first. So, welcome back. We're glad to be with you today. It is Labor Day weekend in the U.S. Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
And getting warm here. It was really hot while I was gone, and then it cooled down again, and now it's warm again. So I guess summer's hanging on for one last hurrah. We can't wait for fall though.
Yep.
I feel like I forget how to do this. What am I supposed to say? Thank you for everybody who's come back and watched this again. Welcome to any new subscribers. I don't know, I'm not with it today. Let's jump right into our quilt of the day, which is Mom's.
My quilt of the day, which I finished since the last time we saw each other, is what they call a Thangles block, and I'll just hold up the pattern. It comes with all the little, you buy a pack of Thangles, like we've talked about it the last time, and you put it all together, and then you go ahead and have it quilted. And my friend Pam did a great job on it. And then I made the binding, and boy, was that a lot of binding. I didn't realize it was quite so big.
Monthly, you just got part to make this.
Yeah, you get the center.
And then everything else came in the finishing
and you
kit,
make 2 of these a month. I'm trying to find another one where they show. But they're...
This one and that one? Are the same but opposite?
No,
they're not.
No.
Never mind.
Anyway, we have this. Nope, that's different.
Okay.
Anyway, you make 2 a month, and they were kind of reversed.
Yeah.
And so I had them all made for quite a while. And it was a kit I got from Backdoor, and I put it together.
In Greenwood, Indiana.
In Greenwood, Indiana.
Yeah. And this was from a while, at least a couple years ago.
Probably 3 years now.
Yeah. But they generally do Thangles.
They call it $2 a block every year. So each month you get 2 strips of fabric with the fabric 2.5 inches wide, and you buy the Thangles and you get the pattern.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to make the little blocks. It's when you have to put the outer blocks around them, and then you put them all together and sash them and everything.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take long. I did it pretty quickly.
Good.
So yeah.
All right.
So that was fun.
Well, this is
and it's done.
newest quilt finish, which is exciting.
Yes, and I have a couple
more. And
more.
do you have plans for this quilt?
No.
Okay.
No.
You have a couple more that you...
I have another one on the floor that has a back with it, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do. And I have that other one that I started that I hope to... I need to put one more border around it, and then that will go off. And I think that's it right now.
All right. Excellent.
Oh, my Windrifter quilt, you quilted, I just have to bind it.
No, it's bound. It's done. It's sitting out there.
Oh, okay, my Windrifter quilt is finished.
Told you she was crazy.
Okay, she's getting old. What can I say? God.
All right, well, why don't we go on life updates? It seems like a lot has happened since we saw you 3 weeks ago.
It's been crazy.
Yeah, it has been crazy. First, we had our retreat. Yeah. We had our cross-stitch retreat that we host.
I worked 5 days before the retreat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Vicki was at a seminar at Persnickety Stitchers in Zionsville, Indiana, where I work 1 day a week. And I worked Wednesday through Saturday, and then I worked the next Tuesday while she was out in Atlanta.
I think we filmed in the middle of that. So you
might
worked
have,
part of it. And And then we had our
I worked Tuesday.
Retreat.
Wednesday was off. And Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday was the cross-stitch retreat.
Yeah.
Monday was off, and Tuesday you left to take Jenna.
Yep. So that was the next thing. I went to take my daughter to college. Drop-off went well. Got her room all set up. We got in before the rain, which was wonderful because it got kind of rainy that day. And the tarps that you put your stuff on got pretty muddy. So I was glad she picked an early pickup time.
Yeah, she had 10 o'clock check-in, I think.
Yeah, 10 o'clock. Yep. Or 11. I can't remember. 10,
yeah, but the great part was that they had tons of other kids there, older upperclassmen, to help.
Yeah.
And so, and she was on the first floor. That's really cheating. There's no elevator, and she was on the first floor.
Yeah. So went well. She's settling in okay. She has been to Target a couple times, maybe more than I know. She's had her first week of classes, and she's starting to make friends and getting along well with her roommate. So
yes,
that's going well.
She forgot a serious undergarment, so that's the first trip to Target.
No, we mailed them.
Oh, you mailed them. That's right. Well, you bought one.
We bought one to get her through. When you're 3 hours from home and she says, I think I forgot. You're like, yeah, I'll put them in the mail. So, and then while I was gone, you watched our son and shuffled him back and forth between tennis practices and matches, and a few got canceled because of the heat.
Yep.
And we came home Friday night and then spent all day Saturday at a tennis match. You can see the sun on my face. And we've been at matches 2 or 3 nights a week, every week. So it's a really busy tennis season.
Oh, and just let me mention, while she was gone, I spent the night at their house. And the first night I was sitting at her chair stitching, and the dog sat there like, why are you in Mom's chair? I said, it's okay, Grace, she's coming back. Why are you sitting in Mom's chair? So that wasn't okay. That was, we worked that out. So then I went upstairs.
The way you worked it out is you moved chairs.
Yeah, I did. I changed seats because she was not happy with me. Then I went upstairs and I walked in their bedroom because I quickly learned not to use the bathroom the kids use, and because their bathroom was clean. And so I walked into the bedroom to go into the bathroom, and guess who was there waiting for me? She looked at me, what the hell are you doing here? And
the
I
cat,
said,
if you haven't seen us
good
before.
old Mittens. And I said, I'm not staying permanently. Don't worry, she's coming back. And so then the next time I came in, she was stalking across the floor. I said, don't mess with me. I'm not staying. And so I told her, I said, we did okay. She said, well, since neither of you like each other, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
But when I left, everybody was still alive and Jack was not starving.
True. We left a lot of food for him, and he ate almost all of it. Yeah. So, you got a cold.
I got a cold
last time.
She said she'd never film again when I'm coughing, so I'm sucking on a soft cough drop.
Yeah.
And if you see little breaks, it's because I coughed again, and she's ready to kill me. Okay.
We had our stitch retreat, which we started to talk about, and then went on to other things, but that went very well. We had a good time. We had a full room of 30 people. You'll see stuff in our starts, our finishes, our haul. We had a grand old time.
Oh, our haul.
Yeah. And what else? Then yesterday, we spent the afternoon together. We did some shopping, and then we pulled out all of the frames and finishing pieces that both of us have. We laid them all over the cutting table, and we tried to match them up to our stitched but not finished pieces.
Didn't go well.
Man, you buy all these things and you think, oh, something will fit it.
Nope.
Not many. I think I have 2 of mine that matched.
Well,
and
you have the frame. And
so then I had 3.
3, yeah.
And you had maybe about the same, 3 or 4, but that's it. So,
yeah.
But the good news is we measured everything we want to frame. We're going to put them in our phones.
And we made notes.
When we're out and about looking, if we run across a frame or a good framing special, we can take action. So it feels good. It feels like we're prepared to FFO now.
Yeah.
Now we just have to FFO.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess the only other thing I told you guys last time, but I got my quilts and my ribbons back from the fair. So I'll just show you. I have 2 honorable mentions for 2 quilts. And I got nice feedback on those. I'll put in a picture of the quilts here in the fair. This one is my End of the Rainbow, which I made for my son, and got excellence and goods. Nice compliments that the backing lays flat, that the tension is good. Overall design, very good. The only negative comment was on backing, some basting stitches show. That is correct, they do. So next time I'm going to put a quilt in the fair, I'm going to go back and sit those basting stitches. Yep. Because sometimes they're wider than the binding. So
I try and cut those out when I'm binding.
Yeah.
I really work hard on that. I did on this one. I had to come back upstairs a couple times and stitch while I still had the binding hanging off it. But I got them covered, I think.
And then the second one was my Wind Drifter, and this was the one we did as a quilt along last year, and I got an honorable mention on that. This was the one I liked. Most of the points are accurate. It's true. Smooth curves on my quilting, bindings full, and nice use of fabrics. So overall, very nice comments. And then I had the biggie, which was my first place, which is on my charting a course. And there we go. There's the first place ribbon. And this was we only have 4 cross stitch categories. So this was in the second largest stitches category, the 100 inches up to 140, I think. So very happy with that. And this was stitched on Ada. It was a kit from Sunset, maybe?
Or Dimensions, one of the two.
It wasn't Dimensions.
No, Sunset. No, I think it was
Sunset that I got at a Stitchers garage sale for like $3. So super happy with how it turned out and very pleased to have a ribbon on that.
Yeah.
So that has been hanging in our family room ever since I got home.
And when you walk in the house, Jack says, "Did you see Mom's stitch? Did you see her ribbon?"
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he pointed that out to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
So.
All right. Should we jump into questions?
Sure. Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
Our-
Start.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, our question to you was, what brand is your favorite brand of floss? We got lots of answers, but about 90% of them were the same.
It was a landslide, you guys.
Yeah.
DMC. DMC.
Sorry, say that again.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
DMC was the favorite by far. So I think I'll do a pie chart this time. I haven't actually made the graph when we're talking.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make it later. But I think I'll do a pie chart so you can see how much of the pie is filled up by DMC. 44 of you said it's your favorite. Behind that were a lot of the cotton threads. So 8 said Classic Colorworks. 5 said Weeks. 3 said Gentle Arts and Color and Cotton. 4 said Vicki Clayton Silks.
Yeah, those are silks.
4 said whatever the pattern calls for. They don't really have a preference. 3 Gentle Arts. 2 Cosmo. 2 Sulky. 1 Belle Swat and 1 Orifloss. There were, I would say the common threads were, most everybody started with DMC. And some of you have never left it. You like it. It's economical. That was another one.
Yeah.
Like it's
Cost
so
was a big factor.
easy from a cost perspective, and there's such a wide variety of colors.
And also, if you don't live near an LNS and you have to go to a big box store, you can always get DMC there. Yeah.
Well,
interesting. There was no anchor.
No, one person I think said they stitched with Anchor Black.
Yeah, but
not as an overall.
Not as an overall.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. We also asked this question at our retreat, and also DMC was the winner there. 13 people said DMC. 8 said Weeks. 3 said Color and Cotton. 3 said Sulky. 2 said Silks, but didn't have a specific brand. 1 Silks for You, 1 Avera Soie, 1 Pearl Cotton, and 1 Cosmo. So yeah, it was fun to hear what your favorite brands were. And I think, DMC, it's like
it's the standard.
The winner in the industry, and it's so versatile. And I mean, probably half of my projects here today are using DMC.
And most of the designers use DMC. And if they do use another floss, if they use an overdyed or a silk, they'll give you a DMC conversion.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so easy. You can just go ahead and do that.
Yeah. All right. So last time we showed your pattern, which was your white work on the blue background, and both Mickey and Pat wanted to know what the pattern was.
This is called Snowman Gathering by Diane Arthur, and it's an imaginating, and it's from 1904.
Not 1904.
Oh, well, that's what it says.
2006.
Oh, 2006, sorry. Oh, well, I haven't had enough wine today. Okay. It was fun. I loved doing it. It was so neat. I don't know if it's still available, but it was a lot of fun. And working on the Navy wasn't hard, as I remember.
Yeah. And then you also showed white work on red. And Pokey Little Pineapple, wanted to know what the pattern was for that.
That was a mystery, and I really have to...
And it's a mystery to her.
It's a mystery. I'd really have to dig. I'll try and find it before the next one. I missed that question initially, and then when Jennifer told me today, I was like, oy. So I'll try and find it.
It was around the holiday season.
Yeah, it's been a good 3 or 4 years, and I've slept since then. So, and had anesthesia. So between the two of them, good luck with that. I will try and find it though.
All right. Jane asked about the duffel bag that I made for my daughter. Did I quilt it first and cut it out? Yes. So this pattern specifically tells you if you have a long arm to quilt the whole thing and then cut it up, because it's much easier to handle it that way. And it really was. And I have quite a bit that's left of the pre-quilted piece. So now I'm on the hunt for another bag pattern that I can use that in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can make her a little pea pod, or, you know.
Oh, it's bigger than that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's quite large. So, and then Joanne asked where I got the Girl Scout alum t-shirt. And that was at our local council. I was part of an alum committee a couple of years ago, and we actually brought in the t-shirts, and they had them in the shop for Girl Scouts of Central Indiana. They still do have a few in the shop. I was in there not long ago. So if you want one, you could call and see if they have your size. And I just want to also say thank you for all the kind comments around my Girl Scout troop and the pieces I made for them. And yeah, it was really nice to hear about so many other Girl Scout experiences as well.
Yesterday she got a really nice note from one of her girls who said, I finally sat down and read your letter that was with my piece. And she said, I'm sitting here bawling like a baby.
Yeah.
She was really touched by it. So that was really nice.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
All right.
YouTube is changing some things. So sometimes your name comes up, but other times we get weird names or codes. So BK, somebody, I hope you know who you are, asked about Christmas rules. Could we show it finished? Or Christmas alphabet.
They said my Christmas list.
My Christmas list. I don't.
Which you haven't stitched yet. But
I
I think
so.
they meant your
Christmas rules.
Lizzie Kate Christmas
Yeah,
rules.
which is, we'll talk about what we did yesterday, and it's on my list.
It's not finished yet.
No, it's not finished, but I'm going to finish it as a bell pull, and I have the hardware. I just have to get my act together.
Yes.
And we'll show it when it's finished. The largest cross stitch we've ever done. Neither one of us are into like the Hades, the Heaven and Earth designs, or the big full coverage or anything. And we were talking about it. Jennifer thinks maybe this.
I mean, my lighthouse.
Her lighthouse
would definitely be in the list for me of some of the biggest I've done. And I did a Christmas house, which was quite large years ago.
And this is a pattern. If I hold it, which is right side up. Okay, that's right side up. This was sent to me many, many years ago by our exchange student's mother. And I finished it, and I think I'm going to make it into a pillow, but it's just been hanging very nicely since then. Yeah. But I love doing it. It was on an interesting fabric. It's not anything I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it's an even cloth. Weave, but it's very different. I don't know. Maybe we can hold it up here and you can see it's kind of strange. But anyway, it was fun to do. It took a long time because there were a lot of color changes and everything, and there was actually virtually there was no back stitching in it, which is interesting because to me back stitching makes a piece, but this one looks fine without it. Yeah. And so when I finally decide what I'm going to do with it, you'll see it.
So that's kind of the neighborhood of large pieces for us.
Do.
Yeah.
We like to get stuff finished in our lifetime. And also probably stitch on multiple things. Yeah. And I'm kind of, like I started something at Retreat that I knew was going to be a long stitch, and you'll see that. But I've been working on it a little bit at a time. And if you're working on some of these huge ones, like, last 2 years ago at Retreat, one of the gals brought a gorgeous one with the birds that Bonnie's doing now. Yeah. And it's like 18 pages. Yeah. I'm like, oh, no, no, I couldn't, I'm good with 2. Yeah. Or maybe a little hanging over on each one, but no, I'm not up to 18. That's way beyond my wheelhouse.
All right. Kevin asked about the pattern for your little glam bag.
Okay, this is the Palm Beach Designs little glam bags, 3 different styles.
And these are the ones you made with cork, and you made this style at the bottom with the cork on the bottom.
Yes. Yeah. So there you go.
And then Alice asked if I ever figured out what was at the bottom of the National Park stitch. Nope, I didn't research it anymore. I don't. Whatever it is, it is. And then Greta asked, what are Jenna's favorite true crime podcasts? So Greta, she says she likes Crime Junkie, The Deck, and Morbid. So I'm not a true crime person, but she loves it, which is funny because she does not like scary movies, but she loves true crime.
Oh, Lord.
We were talking about that the other day.
Huh?
She said it's the facts of the case as opposed to the jump scare. Like, she does not like the jump scare.
She doesn't like to be surprised.
No,
Yeah.
no. So, all right. Should we jump into some whips and new starts, or was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
I don't
before we
think
go?
so. I think
Okay.
we can do that. Okay. I've been working on, where's the, the National Parks Ranger, which I started for my son-in-law for 2 Christmases ago. And then it didn't quite get done, so then it was going to be for last Christmas, and now, come hell or high water, it's going to be this Christmas. But anyway, I've been working on it, and I've started beading it. I have a little bit of stitching to do. I was working with, I don't normally mark my patterns with markers, but this one was driving me crazy, so I borrowed a marker from a friend at retreat, and I got lots of green stuff on my cage, and so I don't have too much left to do. So he might actually get this year, which would be a miracle. Yeah. And he doesn't watch this, so he doesn't know.
Unless it's on TV when I have it, but I won't show it.
Oh,
I won't show him.
Okay, that would be good. And then
Whips.
Okay. When at the store, Teresa finishes for us, and she brought in this finish, and it was the witch hat. And it was so cute. Well, it turns out.
And just pull it back so they can see. It's from Plum Pudding Needle Art, and it's called Spell Binding.
And so Teresa, who comes to our retreats and also is a wonderful finisher, did the finishing for that. So Kim, who has the pattern, brought it to me at retreat so I could borrow it, and she loaned it to me, and I will mail it back to her. And so last night,
after I also stitch it.
Okay. At Stitch Group last week, I asked Teresa, I said, how soon do I have to have that witch's hat to you to get it finished? And she said, have you started it yet? And I said, no. And she said, September 15th. So last night, when I should have been doing some stuff to get ready for this, what did I do? I started it. So there it is. It's on black, and you can see you do a template of the hat, and that helps you with the placement. And so I got the moon done and the stems for the pumpkin, and I started on the pumpkin. But then I decided it was late and it was dark.
Yeah.
And so
Black Ada. 14 count,
14
right?
count Black Ada. Yeah. And then I showed you this is haul.
So while you're getting that, I'll say, so after we stopped filming last time, we sat here and she said she wanted to do a bunch of new starts at retreat. She didn't want to work on the same stuff. So we went through her kitted up stuff and a few not kitted, and we kitted up a bunch of new projects for her to start at retreat.
Right. And I think I showed you this one, which I bought the finishing kit, so then I had to buy the pattern. It's from Primrose, and it's called Christmas Quilt. So I did start that at retreat. Goes this way. Yeah, I started that at retreat, so I got that much done, and that's fun. That's going really well.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to run out of green. We've got it on order. I'm hoping it comes soon. But
and do you know which red and green you're using?
I'm using Garnet by Weeks and Grasshopper by Color and Cotton.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So, and then I was trying to decide what I was going to start, and I was looking because I was working on the Mill Hill kit, and it was driving me nuts. And Jennifer said, "Well, do something fun." So I said, oh, so I started going through, and she said, which one? I said, I don't know. So she said, okay, we're going to have a vote. So she holds up my patterns to everybody, and this is the one that won. It's called Forever in Peace by Sweet Wing Studio, and I love it. I've loved it for a long time. I had it ready. I had serged the edges, or, zigzag the edges and everything, and so I started it, and here it is. And the best part is that this row here, this when I was working on it at Jen's, and I had to move because I was getting the evil eye from the dog. So the light I was sitting under wasn't great. So I ended up having to take out, I was done to about here. I had to take out all the white because I had a mistake back in here. I'd overdone it. And I was thinking this might be a possible state fair entry next year. And if you have screwed up stitches, it's not going to pass. So I sat there and carefully took them all out as the dog watched me. So, but she wasn't mad at me. She just was concerned because Mom wasn't there.
Because I'm her favorite.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And we left the house with a lot of stuff. So
packing the car, she was a wreck.
Worried, what is going on? So, yeah. Okay, whips for me. We'll start with Landscape by Works by ABC. I worked on this one at retreat, and then I've worked on it since then, and I'm getting really close, you guys. And I'm really looking forward to having this one done. This is on, I don't know, 32 count, hang on, smoky white linen. And it's a printed linen, just like Vintage Country Mocha, and it's with the called for threads, and you use one thread over two on 32 count, so it has a little bit of a more delicate look. So all I have to do, this is the dark green down here, I have to finish that, and then I have to pop in the moon. And I'm not letting myself do the moon until I do the green and the purple, because I know if I do that, then it's... In the beginning, I was like, oh, this is nice. This is really easy to stitch on. Now I'm like,
it's boring. It's boring.
But it's going to be really pretty when it's done.
And that's the pattern. Do you show them?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that's landscape, and that is moving along quite well. And then my next couple of whips were not from retreat. Oh, yeah. So after she did her pull, then I went home that night, and I was like, well, I don't want to work on whips at retreat either then. So I pulled a bunch of new stuff to start. So... yeah, like mother, like daughter. Next
Scary.
is my Zara Design Studio Mini Temperature Stars, and I'm stitching this with her recommended thread colors and temperature range, and I am up to almost the end of August. So we've had a couple of 91-degree days, but I think that's the hottest that it's been. With humidity, the feels like temperature was a lot higher when we were gone. This was, I think this is the week we were gone right here when it was super hot.
Yeah. And you based the temperature on Indiana, not on New York.
I base it on Indianapolis, the high temperature for the day on Weather Underground. So it's coming right along. I don't think I'll wind up with a red in it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
I don't get to red until
days.
like 96.
Yeah.
So we've had a more mild summer, but I love that one. I work on it. I try and work on it each Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And stitch the previous week. So I caught up this week and got it.
I had to laugh when she said it was 90 degrees, but the humidity was high. I was watching the tennis in Columbus, Ohio the other day, and he said, it's about 85, but the humidity is 571%. The other guy said, no, I think it's 569. He said, well, you're probably closer.
How funny.
I thought shades of Houston.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my next whip, this went in the car with us on the trip to New York because I'm able to stitch it in the car. This is Holiday Wishes, a Jan Lynn kit, and I'm working on Santa.
It's the last
one. And here he is. He's pretty much got stitched across Pennsylvania, and maybe a little bit in the evenings. I got all the way down here and turned the corner. I think I did a little bit on the hat. I don't really remember. It's all kind of a fog. And this is on kit plastic canvas with the threads from the kit. I don't love stitching on plastic canvas, but it's super cute, so I'll finish it. That's why I didn't do one right after the other.
Yeah, it took you a while.
And then the other one I took on the trip with us was my Mill Hill Button and Bead. I think it's called, Camping Out. And this one moved quite quickly. So this one, is that thread or is that
no, it's
a linen?
Off the linen.
And so this one I did this square and I did this square and I started on this square. And I stitched on a little bit when I got home, but that was only like 4 days of stitching. So it moves along pretty quick.
Tell them how many times you did the canoe.
Twice. It's the first time it was over one or down one or
one high.
Yeah. So did the canoe twice. It's okay. Looks good. Beads will fit in. I wasn't going to try and rework the whole pattern.
I get this text. I can't believe it. I'm one high.
Yep.
She was not happy.
No. And then my next one is a whip, but it's also like a little tiny finish and a little tiny start. So this is Block Party 31st by Hands On Design. And last night I finished the bottom. So I've already done the long piece, but I finished the bottom last night. That's the pumpkin butts. And then this morning I started the top.
Oh.
And so I have that quadrant, almost have one more pumpkin and I think one more Smyrna cross, and then I'll be done with the top right quadrant. And that went pretty fast. So I have another hands-on design kitted up that I really wanted to start this morning, and I was like, no, be good. Finish your block party before you start the next hands-on design.
We're trying.
We'll see. I may or may not, but at least today I was good. And then I have 2 new starts from retreat. So the first one is Spooky Fence by Raise the Roof. And this is an older pattern. It's been out for a while. And in fact, this is, I don't know if it's still in print. I don't think Raise the Roof is still active. It's the same person who's Kitten Stitcher on Flosstube. But they're so darn cute. And so I'm stitching this on 32 count Lugana Stormy Night. And I decided, you guys, 32 count Lugana is my favorite. That's my happy place. And there they are. So we have 3 fence posts, one of which has got part of his coat on. And the one in the middle is going to have the mummy wrap around him. So this is moving along quite quickly. And it was really fun to stitch. So I look forward to getting back to that one. I haven't worked on it since retreat, but honestly, I haven't had a lot of stitching time since retreat.
It's been crazy.
And then the next one I started at retreat, and it's in timeout. So this is Bank Sampler, and you can see from all the stickers, I got this one in the sale room. It was a real deal up in the sale loft in our shop, and I just think it's really pretty. And that was my birthday start. My birthday was the last morning of retreat, and I pulled the colors I had. There's a few I don't have, but I thought, oh, they're nice dark colors. And I started it on 32 count Amber Waves Lugana. And I have as my needle miner my brand new birthday present from my friend Beth, Park City, Utah needle miner. And I stitched the green, and I hate that color green. And then I stitched the bird, and he's 1 row off. So we'll come back to this later.
Which part is off?
The
inside.
The head.
Oh.
Is something's off on him. I haven't gone back to figure it out. I just put it away. I was like, we're done with this. We'll come back to it another day. So, and I got to switch out that green. It's too dark and gloomy for me.
Yeah.
I want a brighter green. So, yeah. So this one may wind up with different colors across much of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
It's allowed.
So lots of whips.
Yeah. And then we have some finishes.
Yeah.
I have finishes. Shocking. This is the pattern. It was a free pattern from October House. It's called Twirl. And I don't have it here because it was my swap for retreat. We did a smalls exchange. And so I've sent Jennifer a picture, and she will insert the picture of it. But I think it turned out really cute. And I used one of my 2023 charms. That was even more exciting. And then the last time I think we filmed, you knew that I bought the pillows for Indiana and New Jersey, because I'm originally from New Jersey. And so I started this on
the first
night of retreat, and I finished it. So that's done.
It was a start and a finish at retreat.
At retreat, yeah. So that was quite a shock. And
and you picked your own colors.
Yeah, I picked my own colors.
Color and cotton.
Yeah, I used color and cotton because I'm in that Brights Club, and I thought I need to use some of those. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. I can hardly close the box anymore. So yeah, so I did that. And then, okay, you want to do one?
Yeah, I have 2 finishes.
Yeah, I have some.
So my first one is Tiny Modernist Crab Dance. And last time we talked about this, I called it the dead crab. And I learned from Mary.
She was quickly corrected.
Yes, in Australia, there are live red crabs. So now this is going to be my Australian crab. And he's done. And I think he turned out really cute on 14 count. I don't think it needs it.
Okay.
Ada. And I finished this at retreat, and it was very fun. This is going to be a shop model for Persnickety Stitchers, our local shop. So I just have to find the board to finish it on, but I'm really pleased with how it came out. I think it's really cute. Yeah. So that's Crab Dance, using all the called for colors, but I substituted the linen for the 14 count lilac Ada, which we have a lot of in the shop. So if anybody likes that and wants a piece, just give her a call on Friday. She'll cut you a big piece and put it in the mail, or come see her.
Yeah, come see me.
All right, and then the second one is a pattern from Etsy, and you know what, it's from Stitchy Little Fox is the shop, and there's some bad language in this. So if you have young children in the room, you might want to pause or fast forward or tell them to go run to the kitchen.
And if you're offended, just cover your eyes.
Yeah.
She won't say the word.
Yeah, so I have a friend who this is perfect for. So here's this one. I'm not even going to read it. But if you can't read it, at the bottom it says, I thought you knew. So that is going to be a Christmas present this year.
And that was a start and finish at retreat.
No, it was a start almost finished.
Okay.
I had to put in some of the hearts and the accents when I got home.
Everybody liked that.
The
It was very
words were
popular.
all done. Yeah.
It was very popular.
Yeah. So that was a very fun one to stitch. And this is on a scrap of, see my fancy scrap of pink linen that I think I probably had to do baby
Something or other.
something, yeah, back in the day. So those are my two finishes.
Okay, then I have some FFOs. We were down at Fancy Works and I was looking for a frame because I had this piece done. And lo and behold, this is a Mill Hill frame, but the color is absolutely perfect. So that will go up on my coal place. And I love it.
Is it going in the dog bathroom or staying in here?
He's either going in the dog bathroom or it might go over here with him.
Yeah.
I don't know, one of the two.
Yeah.
I haven't quite decided yet. All right, so that's that one. And then Liz brought these back with me for me when she finished it. This is my my floopy snowflakes. They're flooping. All right, they're good. Okay, then this was my Let It Snow, and that frame was just perfect. I couldn't believe how well it fit. So that's another nail in the coffin for my snowman. You know,
and that's a Heinz-It.
that's a Heinz-It.
Yeah.
And then I have, this is the one she framed for me, and it's the summer from, I believe it's Country Cottage or Little House, one of the two.
I think it's Country Cottage.
But I have all 4 seasons done. Jennifer will hold them up too, and they will just flip in and out of the frame. She put tabs on the back, and this is my daughter-in-law's Christmas present, and it was done in July. And so they're all finished and they're ready to go. And this one I did in 23.
Look at that lacing. I just want to say, Liz, you're amazing.
This one was done in 18.
Mine looks like a Tasmanian devil laced it when I
This was done in 18. And this was done in 23. So yeah, it's been a little while working on. But anyway, they're done and ready to go. And then this one you've seen finished but not fully finished, but I found this frame. They had it down there. And so this is a shop model, but I just had to get it framed because it just made such a difference.
And the pattern is?
The pattern is Feeling Wicked by Ursula Michaels. Imaginating, yeah. But I loved it. It was so much fun to do because again, it's words. You know, I like words. And so yeah, so that's going back to the store. I picked it up the other day and brought it. And then I remember showing you that Kim, the same person with the witch's hat, had loaned me. I found the pattern for the acorn. I found the pattern for the, anyway. I finished these two. We need to put them up on something, I think. No? Okay. There they are. The acorn and the pumpkin. Yeah. So I gave both of them back to Kim because she hadn't done either one.
Do you remember
the same size?
Are they trilogy patterns?
They're trilogy, I believe, yeah. And they showed them framed in a big brown frame with a little hole, but they just fit in these things perfectly. These are from Hobby Lobby.
They're so cute.
The only thing I can tell you is when you're tightening the screw here, once you get it in, don't tighten it too much because the wood is very fragile. And I have one that it broke off as I was tightening it. So, but other than that, they're done.
Yay.
They're done. So yeah, so I don't know quite what I'm going to do with them because they're small. I don't know where I'm going to put them. Probably in a bowl or something.
Yeah.
But so they're finished.
So that's
finished.
1, 2, 3,
1,
5 finishes.
Well,
finishes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And a bunch of finishes.
I
Yeah.
have 0 FFOs. Didn't do a darn thing for FFOs. I was pushing hard to get Jenna's duffel bag done, which I did.
It's gorgeous.
And I left for retreat and left it on the couch and said it's ready to fill up now. So she has that with her, and then I'll get to make yours when you cut your fabric.
Yep. Yeah. And we just kind of held off because between retreat and her going away and everything, I said, there's no push. I mean, we've only had this for like 3 or 4 years now. Why would we rush into it? And so we have to get the fabric out. And the thing is that I bought the fabric and now I can't remember which I use for which. So I have to check the pattern and find out what the measurements are. Yeah. So.
All right. We have some haul and happy mail.
Yes.
A lot.
Do a lot of haul. Oh my
Let's
goodness.
do happy mail first and then go into haul. So I'll start. So Sally from Oregon sent me this lovely card. She was hoping to come to Acorns and Threads when I was there, but it didn't happen. And she also passed on to me this sampler kit that she's had for ages. And she wrote a note up here in the corner. It says it was $4.50. And she said, I have had this for a while. Yeah. So this is on Belgian linen. It's an embroidery kit. So she said I could hang on to it or pass it on. So I don't know yet. We'll see. But thank you very much. It was lovely to receive that from you. And it was a nice surprise when I got home. Mom sent me a picture and said you have a package waiting for you. Yeah. Which is always
That was
fun.
exciting.
Yes.
Because she was gone.
Yes.
And then on Friday, I think it was, in the mail, this package arrived addressed to me, but inside were from Karen, one of our wonderful viewers who also knows about Jenna's addiction to diamond painting, sent us a whole bunch. These are bookmarks, okay? Mm-hmm. These are finished. I don't know, does it show? Do they glint enough? Mm-hmm. But there, it's a bookmark. And so she sent 4 that were completed, and I think there's 6 more or 5 more that haven't been done. And she sent all the little pieces to go with it, which I didn't realize the bag wasn't closed and they were all over my bed. So I spent about a half an hour picking up little diamonds. But she sent these for Jenna, and I sent Jenna a picture, and she said, I can't wait. I'm so excited. So thank you so much, Karen. You will be receiving a thank you note from Jenna when she buys stamps. Yeah. And unless her mother sends them to her. But I will, excuse me, I will get them off to her this week. Yeah. Because she's almost finished with what she has, and she's really excited to get them. Yeah. So thank you for your kindness. That's greatly appreciated.
Very nice.
Help to fill some spare time at school.
Yeah. I think all of our other haul is
retreat
most
related.
Of our other haul is from retreat.
Yeah. Okay, just let me show you this first.
Start with that.
I participated in the Smalls Exchange. I said that, and Karen made this absolutely stunning box. Is that not gorgeous? And she finished it. And it was it was one of those things where you we put them all. Excuse me. We put them all in. We put a number in a bag, and we. That's her card.
On the inside with felt and fabric.
Okay, we're back. I'll try not to choke. Judy Whitman of JBW Designs was very generous and sent us enough patterns so that everybody at retreat got one. And this is the one I picked up, the French Country Ornaments. And Jennifer picked up
French Country Wedding Cake.
Yes.
Yes.
And so we greatly appreciate this, and we encourage you to follow her. She has Flosstube, and she also has an Etsy or a website where, and you can also buy her pattern through your LNS or directly from her, I think. Yeah. But it was just so generous of her. And we had some other very generous door prizes too, from Hands On Design and Persnickety Stitchers. But we really appreciate it, and so we would like you to follow both of them, Hands On Design and JBW. They're very generous ladies and very, very talented, so gifted. Makes me so jealous. Thank God they can create patterns, because I can follow them, but I can't create them. And then we had door prizes, and you didn't win a door prize, did you?
I did not win a door prize, no.
And that's the thing. We tell everybody that when, heads up, our names are in the door prize drawing too, because we know what's there and we like it. So I won the knitting pattern holder, which will be great for cross stitch. Yeah. There's nothing that says you can only use it for knitting. So that was my door prize. So that was
and it has like a magnetic.
It's got a holder, and it stands. It's the whole 9 yards. Nice. It's got a little pocket to hold your pattern and everything. So yeah, that's good.
And then I think just about everything else came off the sale or the free tables. We had some awesome stuff that people brought for the free table, which were old kits.
One of our gals, Beth, had been given a whole tub full of cross stitch stuff from someone whose family member had passed away, and she brought them in. She said, "I don't want any money for them. I just want them out of my house."
Yeah.
So Jennifer said I could only take 5. So we'll explain how I didn't even take 5.
Yeah, right. So I took 2 from that. I'll show my 2, and they are both Shepherd's Bush needle roll kits. So this one is, I don't know the name of it. It looks like a honeybee one. And then this one is the Easter egg. I bet the other one is honeybee. There's a price tag over it.
Mm.
And so I've made one needle roll before and it was fun. I think it was also Shepherd's Bush. So I think I will enjoy making both of these. And they're fully kitted with the threads and the ribbon and the
All the decorative
lace and the linen to stitch it. So look forward to those.
Mm-hmm.
What kits did you get?
Okay, I love doing the letters, you know that. So they had the Little House Needleworks, okay, and this was the needlework ABCs. So it came with the fabric and it has all the classic color works in it.
Yeah.
So I picked up that one, and then I have 3 light switches as you walk into my sewing room, and this was a neat light plate. So I picked up that, and then what did I get next?
The Shepherd's Bush.
This,
There were 2 people that brought boxes of stuff.
No. This was from my friend Bonnie, who's in my stitch group, came over to me with these 2 and said, these have to be you. This was out of Beth's box, but she said, I wanted to take them before somebody else got them. And again, they're fully kitted. So this is Snowy Morn by Shepherd's Bush. So that was a gift. That was not something I took, okay? And then she brought me...
I'm going to see her shady math here.
A Winter's Tale, again, fully kitted. And that came kitted from Shepherd's Bush. So, you know, so that was a gift. And then someone else brought over this because it's Cromwell the Snowman. And he is so cute. And they said, well, I know how much you like snowmen and I'll never do it. So they gave it to me. So that was another gift. No, that doesn't count. And then I was looking at some more, and Jennifer said, that would be really nice to make for your best friend. So it's called Tender Heart. So that was from Jennifer. Didn't count. And then you know, Jennifer did that Lighthouse ABCs, and this one was in there too. This was Bent Creek Lighthouse. It's called The Lighthouse. And this one I picked. So that's number 3. Okay. And then Jennifer was doing...
I was working on...
She was working on her
fence.
Her spooky fence. And I have done one that's snowmen. Mm-hmm. And then Jennifer said, oh, look at this. You'll have to do it. It matches your snowman, and it'll match the one you're going to do when I'm finished with it. So that also was from Jennifer. So that doesn't count toward my 5. So that was my haul.
And?
Well, those are gifts. And then the other thing is Liz had brought some beautiful scissor, what do they call them? Frogs. And most of them were glass, but I just thought this one was stunning. It's a, you know, it's just a china piece, and I thought it was so pretty. So I got that. But that doesn't count toward my patterns. Mm-hmm. And then Kim, who had the witch's hat, handed me these and said, you may either stitch these or give them away, whatever you want to do. So that doesn't count either because they were a gift. So here's one from the Colorado Cross Stitcher called In the Meadow We Can Build a... And there's no...
In the meadow.
Snowman there. He's a little snowman. Oh, there he is. Okay. And yeah, so he was there. And then this is Cousin Willie.
Wrigley.
Wrigley. Okay. And this is Bucky the Snowman. This is Snow Woes. Shocking. I've already done this one. Haha. So it gets to be a giveaway. And then this is Heartstruck Friends, which is some more snowman. And then Too Hot from the Snow Rose series by Ori TM. So see, I didn't take 5. I just had a lot of very generous friends who gifted me things. So it doesn't count, including my daughter, because somebody made some comment about sneaking this stuff in past their husband. I said, oh, that's not a problem. I said, the person I have to sneak them past is the one sitting next to me. So I was good. I only took 3.
Do you want to give this away today?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. What do
Sure.
you want the keyword to be? 5? I think the keyword should be 5. If you would like Snow Woes by Heart and Hand, please use the word 5 in your comment. And we will give it away next time. All right. I was much better at the table. I picked up one and only one pattern. This is Forest Song. It is, oh, I always get the name of these wrong. What are they called? Counted Canvas, right?
Oh, yeah.
Counted Canvas from Nancy's Needle.
That'll be pretty.
And it's just gorgeous. And you know, I've done another one of hers, and I look forward to doing that one.
That's going to be pretty.
It looks like it's mostly pearl cottons, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, I think
Man, the last one got expensive.
that's all it is.
Yeah, it's just
And one watercolor.
One watercolor.
Yeah.
And then I picked up this, which is linen on the front and pillow on the back. So you stitch right on it and boom, FFO. I love those.
Oh, yeah.
And then this frame, I got, one of our stitchers brought a bunch of frames and sold them at really nice prices. And this is going to fit my landscape once I change the color.
Paint it.
I mean, it'll still fit it now, but it's
Yeah.
not the right color. But I'm going to repaint it probably white, or some kind of like, I don't know, tan. I don't know. We'll see. And this will be perfect for that piece to FFO it. And that's all I got. But I have other help.
She was not under any
I got a
restrictions.
birthday present from my mom. I got the Ackfeld Manufacturing bell pull, the Halloween one. And I'm going to use this to FFO the Primrose Cottage Trick or Treat piece that we stitched last year with Jamie and Terry when they did their stitch along. Oh, we didn't see yours yesterday, did we?
No.
Huh. We're still missing a few. Huh. Any other stitching stuff?
No. Oh, yeah. Last year we made up my list of what I was going to work on and what I needed for fabric and everything. So I just went ahead and ordered a yard
That's
of
pretty.
Lagana 32 count. So I have a whole yard, light blue, yeah. So I have a whole yard
really
of that,
pretty.
which is going to be great. And I also ordered, well, that's all for cross stitch,
That's all you have.
I think. I picked up a couple skeins of floss here and there, but
Yeah.
I was really good. I didn't pick up any more patterns yet.
Okay. Good. I have some quilting haul. You want to talk about that now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yesterday we went up to Quilts Plus, which is in Lebanon, Indiana. And Connie is the owner. We've known her for many, many years since she worked at Quilts Plus, and now she owns it.
And she was president of our quilt guild.
Yep. And her granddaughter went to the same elementary school as my kids for a couple of years.
Had one of the same teachers.
Yeah. So she's having a trunk show of By Annie. So we went up there yesterday, and I took a couple things to kit up, but then I also bought this pattern, Open Wide 2.0. I think that'll be very fun to make. I like By Annie stuff. I didn't bring it with me, but I got the Soft and Stable package because I really like that. And then I picked up this fabric, a purple batik, that will be a binding that hopefully you'll see in 3 weeks. And then I got this, which is for my mystery fabric, no, my challenge fabric project.
For a quilt retreat
for
in
quilt
October.
Retreat, yep. And then these are 2 fat 8ths, and I just like the tone-on-tone oranges. So I had a good time at the quilt shop yesterday.
Yeah.
I also got a couple like zippers and findings, but I didn't bring those because they're kitted up with the pattern
And then
that I'm going to use.
Missouri Star had a special where they had 3 yards of wide backing on sale for $36, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have not opened it, but this is the the black. It's got a bit of a pattern in it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
I
you
like
can see
that.
it. And then I also got the gray. I thought those were good neutrals. I have a use for the black, and the gray I thought would go with everything. So I got those. So that wasn't a bad deal because, you know, 108 is sometimes hard to find,
Yeah.
especially for that price.
Good.
And I think it was free shipping.
Good.
So, yeah.
And then you have some
Oh,
yarn.
and then Simply Socks is a wonderful yarn store in Fort Wayne. Unfortunately, they're only open a couple days a month, I think. And I've never been up there when they've been open, which is probably a good thing because I've ordered enough online. I don't need to be there in person because they have, it's amazing. But anyway, I saw the socks on their Facebook feed, and so I ordered them. And I don't know if you can see it, but it sparkles. But they're so pretty. I showed Jen the pattern and she liked it.
are.
And I'm very close to finishing my other pair of socks. I have them over there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like with this far from the end of the toe. And then I'll have that finished. So technically.
So then you can start a new pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as a gift, she said she included all these little stitch minders and stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, so that was kind of neat. And so.
Great.
And I didn't buy anything yesterday when we went out to Michael's or
No. You
Quilts
just
Plus.
bought your lunch.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's all I
Yeah.
did. I was a good girl,
All right.
shockingly.
I have been doing a little bit of quilting. I didn't bring it with me to show. Some of it is my challenge fabric project, so you won't see that until after our quilt retreat in October. What else did I work on? Oh, I was going through some of the old stuff from Lois, our friend who gave me my stash, and my fabric stash, and she had a box of what I thought was all scraps, and there was a table runner in it, so I pulled it out and I finished it, and I need to bind it. So yeah, that was kind of funny. So I worked on that, and then last weekend I worked on cleaning up my sewing room because it was a hot mess after graduation, and then the duffel bag and FFOing, and it just needed a good clean out. So
We won't talk about mine yesterday. I was, and then also some embroidery. I sent pictures to Jennifer, but Jack is on the tennis team, and every year they do a little farewell for the senior boys.
night.
Senior night, they call it. So I embroidered their names and put patches on towels for them, and I did a shirt for the coach and put a patch on that. I put his name on it, and then I also did coasters and key rings for the lady coach and for the couple who their son is a senior, but they have done so much for the
Yeah.
team and everything. And so I just went ahead and made her a key ring and a coaster, and I made him a coaster.
Yeah.
And I made the coach a coaster.
Yeah.
So I was busy embroidering this week.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd like to finish something. And she's like, you finished all those towels and all that stuff. So
You did finish a lot
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah.
so I
I
guess
think
I have
that's-
accomplished something.
You have. I think that's everything. Was there anything else you had to talk about?
I can't think of anything offhand.
No. All
No.
right. I plans for the next few weeks. I'll be at a lot of tennis matches, as will you.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll probably be watching a lot of tennis. It's the U.S. Open, right?
Well, unfortunately,
Oh.
AT&T and or our local station, I don't know, UVerse is having a fight with the CBS, which carries the tennis. It's not on ESPN, only little blurbs. So
Okay.
I'm missing it. So today I was researching going to Xfinity, which I can't stand. I've had them before. But, I mean, we've lost 3 channels. And so
Yeah.
we're not, they give me credit, but that doesn't mean anything because I can't see
'Cause you can't
NCIS, I can't see the tennis, I can't see Blue Bloods, the things, a lot of the shows that I
That
really
you
like,
Yeah.
they're not there. So as a result, I may change.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Okay.
And hopefully it'll be cheaper. 'Cause it's ridiculous the money I pay them every month.
Yeah.
So that'll be part of my research in the next couple of weeks.
All right. Well, do you want to ask them our question
Sure.
of the week?
Okay, our question is, what format of pattern do you use when you're stitching? Do you like to use a paper pattern? Do you have a paper pattern that you then copy so you can mark it up and not mess up your original, which would be a really good idea that I never thought of. And or do you use a PDF when you order it and then you put it into Pattern Keeper or something, or you print it out? Just tell us how you what format you use and how you use them.
And what your preferred format, I guess,
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I'm a paper person.
Me too.
Yeah. I've only stitched maybe 1 or 2 times from a PDF.
Yeah.
I print them out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when I buy a PDF, I print it out.
I don't think I bought a PDF. Well, maybe that mystery one.
Yeah.
If I can figure out what it was. I
Maybe
will
it's in
promise
your
I will look for
email
that.
history. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't know.
try. I'll try.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate
Yes.
all of you watching today, and hope you saw something you liked and you put something into your own cart or decided to make a trip to the nearby store. We plan to be back in about 3 weeks, but schedules are crazy this time of year with tennis, and I have some work travel coming up. So if we're not here, don't worry. We'll be back a week or two later. And happy stitching, and enjoy the rest of summer and the beginning of fall.
Yay.
Hopefully next time we talk to you,
And if
it'll
you're
be a
new,
little
thank you
cooler.
for joining us. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. We're impressed that you've returned. And we really enjoy spending time with you guys. And you can follow Jennifer on Instagram at Jen Quilter. I'm at Grand Stitches. And Jen has a blog, Quilting Mom's blog, where she goes over everything she does every month. And she gets a lot accomplished. She really does. It's very impressive. So check her out, and we'll see you in 3 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.